Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
Today we're going to be talking about 1973's Superchick, another Crown International classic.
A film that empowers women by setting them back 50 years.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Seven knockers.
Spooky got no real coaching.
Get up, Brenda.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get us up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy. And
So the intro for this one's going to be real short because this is about the point in the show where we started to really record the intros well and get that trivia for the actors and directors and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we don't really feel we have to introduce these so much anymore, just maybe a few minutes just to say hello. Thanks again to everybody who donated to our Kickstarter campaign. Looks like it's funded. It's going to be great.
Yes, 54321, a short film by Jesse Michaels, written and directed. It's going to be a fantastic, gritty, noir crime drama, and it's we're very excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're set to start shooting this weekend,
Yes.
so it's going to be real great. We'll just put up some updates on the Grindbin stuff to let everybody know what's going on, but also check that out on omicronmedia.com. That's our main site.
It is
for
our
production company.
Our parents' company, if you will.
Yeah. But you can always find this podcast online at grindhousefilm.com, grindpod.com, Facebook.com/grindbin. We're also on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Instagram's been going real well, by the way.
Yeah.
You got a ton of updates on that thing.
Oh, yeah, you know, I know what the people like.
And again, thank you to everybody who's given us kind words and feedback on the podcast. We really, really, really appreciate all our listeners. If you haven't already, if you got a second to rate and review us on iTunes, it only helps us reach new people. All we want to do is reach people with this podcast and let's all have a good time. Listen to it. You can give us any feedback, info you want. Recommend movies to us. I still have a standing offer that you can be on the show if you really wanted to. I'm serious about that. So thank you.
Yes, don't forget, if you would be ever so kind to hit that little rectangular purple subscribe button on iTunes. That would mean the world to us, and you can never miss another bin on the Grindbin podcast.
We're not asking for money.
Nah.
We're just asking for your ears. That's all we want.
Yeah.
Let's take a listen to the trailer.
She's all woman, and all that every woman wants to be. Forceful, feminine, free, super brain, super body, supercharged, Superchick, a swinging motion picture experience about a super kind of woman. In public, she's a mild-mannered stewardess. In private, she's something else.
Oh, I must be dreaming. Who are you? Why?
Because you've been a good soldier boy. Because you love your mother, apple pie, and your flag.
Superchick, she's more than just one woman, and too much for just one man. In New York, she has Brian.
my crescendo of finality is about to be achieved.
My body pounds with the music. It has become the music.
In Los Angeles, it's Davy. And in Miami, there's Johnny.
You're something else, Mama. That's no lie.
The only place there's no lies between a man and a woman is in bed.
Superchick, the super kind of woman. Always in the middle of where the action is. Always ready for a new adventure.
You'd be amazed what interesting people come around here.
The only unique experience I can see having with you is that, well, you'd be the oldest man I ever made it with.
You can't afford to miss Superchick. She's much more than you've ever had before.
Tara Be True, or as I like to just call her, Super, well, she's a woman on the go.
In many ways.
1973, that time before any sort of real STD would get to you. You can have a different man in every city. It's a real liberating experience to be a flight attendant in these days.
I mean, you'd had something. You just pee it out the next day and you'd be fine.
Yeah. So Crown International delivered this classic to us. One of the oldest movies we've seen so far, 1973. And I'm sure that these people thought they were making a real pro-woman movie.
It shows in the production value and the way they value a woman only for her sexuality and nothing much else beyond that, really.
Well, I'll tell you the best way to make a pro-female empowerment movie is to put the word chick into the title because they really like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, at least I didn't call her super broad.
Super broad. I was going to say, hey, this broad, she's super.
So the director of this movie, Ed Forsyth, very interesting career. He's only directed 3 things. One of them he's uncredited for, his first movie. It's called The Ramrodder. Then he did Caged Men plus One Woman, and then Superchick. Then 2 movies. Oh my. Okay, well, Inferno in Paradise. I like the name of this one. Chesty Anderson, U.S. Navy. And then went out on top with a documentary of all things called On Any Sunday 2.
So he had no involvement with In Any Sunday 1?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, that's going out on top. Or that's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty bottom to me.
Now, he didn't write Superchick. Superchick was written by one guy who did like nothing.
Yeah.
And the other guy, now this is really interesting. The original story.
Yep.
Who went on to be the producer for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
He also produced Superchick. And he was the production manager as recently as 2004 on Ray. Now let's get a little bit into Super herself, Joyce Gilson. She is an interesting character here.
Yes.
Poor girl died 2004 at the age of 58. Another one lost to kidney failure. So now there's some weird shit about Joyce. Because apparently she wrote a daily astrology column that was in 200 newspapers.
No kidding.
Including the LA Times.
She moonlit as a writer.
Yes, she was a famous astrologist. And she was apparently the official astrologer for 20th Century Fox Studios.
Wow.
Consulting on the best opening days for movies, including, this is from trivia, so don't buy it, 1977's Star Wars Episode 4. In the 1980s, she claimed to be Nancy Reagan's astrologer. The Reagans denied this, of course.
And as they did with AIDS.
She also claims that she said that George Bush should be Reagan's running mate. So what can I say about Superchick? Chris, what did you think of this movie?
I got a real Clark Kent vibe out of it, to be honest. She was super, and from the get-go, she was changing and just had this dual personality thing going. I was really... It got me. It was just like, oh wow, she can really do anything she wants, and this is empowering. But then I saw what she was doing, it's like, well, this just set women back 50 years.
It would be like very pro woman until you realize that all she's used as is a basic.
She's a receptacle.
Yeah, she's a dumpster for men, if you will.
For Crown International, she used the company pillow.
We open up on a plane landing, and a brunette walks out into an airport that I can only describe as a ghost town because nobody is in there.
Or it's the red eye just coming in.
Although it is in the day because there's tons of windows with sunlight coming in. So.
And plus from the stock footage B-roll that they obviously paid for by the second. As we saw, like, literally 3... I couldn't tell where we were.
I was going to say, the production values of this movie are shit. 100% shit. The sound is barely audible.
Yeah.
Camera moves, which we'll get into, there are quite a bit of interesting camera moves in this movie. Haphazard at best. I feel like they had no idea what a tripod was sometimes. Definitely like some kid's first job. Zoom in there, kid. Get that. Make sure you get that.
Zoom in on his mouth. It'll make it louder.
So we cut in this brunette walking through this ghost town of an airport, and she goes into this phone booth in a real Clark Kent fashion, ducks down, and then all of a sudden comes out as a blonde wearing a tight leather jumper.
Now, for the rest of the movie, she uses a bathroom. So how come she wasn't
Wait a second, she uses a bathroom? I never noticed that. I always thought she would find some phone booth.
No, see, it's like, you start that way. Why not just continue on that way?
So she comes out in like the most revealing outfit, I guess, possible for the time. I mean, and everybody's looking at her because she looks crazy. She's wearing this real tight jumper with this huge blonde hair. I don't even know where the wig even fits. Because this lady has so much hair, it's insane. The hair is almost its own character, really, in this movie.
It kind of is. I think she took like the biggest condom she could find and wrapped it around her skull, and then put that tiny wig on top of it and prayed would stay in place.
But it was, as we'll find out later, that wig's not attached too well.
No.
So the first thing I notice about this movie, it is that Jackie Brown ripped off the opening scene of this movie completely.
Yeah. Oh,
because she walks through, and I'm not even joking, the same airport with the same wall in LAX.
Yeah.
With the same shot, walking through, and her theme song plays, which is going to play throughout the whole movie, which is amazing.
This is a great theme song. I think it ranks as one of my top 10 of the Grindhouse music. And you guys, we should might have a link on the website. We don't know. Maybe
it's playing right now.
Yeah, obviously. Cut that out. And here you hear the music. As you can tell, it's amazing.
Great. It's jazzy. It's fun.
It sets the period for me. Really.
Yeah, very 70s, very early 70s, I'd say. So when she's walking down her Jackie Brown scene, all the guys and even the women are just staring at her, like just giving her hard looks, like right in the crotch, and she loves it. She's smiling at everybody that goes by. She's a real powerful, independent woman.
She's one of those, she asked for it apologist targets.
But as we'll find later on, she can take care of herself.
Oh yeah. So
she's not worried about that. So she gets into this fancy car. She's in New York at this point. So I guess this part is amazing. This is when you know this movie's going to be just batshit insane. Is when they cut to a shot of her eating dinner with this man. And they zoom out, and they're in the tub eating like a fancy dinner with a butler.
Yeah.
And I mean zoom out in the worst possible zoom out possible. Like somebody zoomed out while also moving the tripod and it's shaking all over the fucking place.
It was actually a zoom by Crank, I think.
So then she asked this guy, who I guess is her date at this point. We don't really know much about him at all.
Who looks like Sammy Johns, actually. There are several people in this film that look like Sammy Johns. This is one of them.
We're going to get into Sammy Johns tonight, by the way.
Oh, good.
There's some information that I need to let you know that is maybe going to depress you. But we'll get to that. So she asks him why there's a painting of a young boy over his toilet. I have that same question, actually.
And it's a famous portrait.
Yeah, what is it?
The Blue Boy.
Blue Boy, yeah. He's got a Blue Boy portrait hanging right over his toilet. And she asks him something like, why do you have that up there? And his response is some bullshit thing, but honestly, why does he have it right in front of the toilet?
He says it makes him, when he's down in the dumps, for some reason, a picture of a little boy above the toilet makes him feel better. It makes it all better.
Do you think that's supposed to be a joke when I'm down in the dumps?
I think so.
So then they get out of the tub and they're looking in the mirror, and this is what I know this movie just had no desire to care at all about what it looked like or what it sounded like. Is they're like fixing their hair in this mirror, and then they just all of a sudden jerk the tripod towards the picture and zoom in on the Blue Boy picture,
and it's like not even centered. It's like,
no, and they're still talking. The scene doesn't end. It zooms into this picture real rough, and then they say a couple more lines and we finally cut. But there's never one cut in this whole scene. It's just one continuous shot. And my question is, do you think the director was just sitting there with the cinematographer and he's like, zoom in on it, now.
You know, should we pay for that Blue Boy license?
fucking amazing, though. Like, I've never seen a movie give such, like, a less a shit about...
Like, it was made by one of those high school morning announcements crews that came in on an internship.
Yeah, I used to work at a high school video stuff, and let me tell you, nothing was that bad. That was horrific. So then we cut to clothes strewn around this apartment and sounds of what we think are sex. Mm-hmm. And we slowly go up and realize that these two people are playing a game of blackjack in bed with giant cards, like
magician cards, like Lance Burton made an appearance.
Yeah, like a Lance Burton card. The card is like a foot long each. And so they're making all these sounds and just going, blackjack. And then they throw up the cards and just have like a bed party.
Yeah.
The next day, they're in the car. He's dropping her off at the airport, and he tells Superchick that they need to get married.
Yes.
But then we find out the reason they weren't having sex in that bed is because this man's name is Ernest, by the way. And I swear to God, you don't learn that until almost the very end of this movie. Which I thought was great. Ernest. It only reminds me of Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah. So she says no, she can't marry him, and gives him some excuse. And then he says this line that I was a little creeped out by. Yeah. Is he says, I'll think of you during surgery.
I thought about that too. So he's going to be standing there with the scalpels and the forceps and a giant erection.
I know. I was like, I hope not. I really hope you're not.
He's going to be putting a giant playing card inside someone's cavity somewhere.
To think of a doctor thinking of some woman he has sex with once a week, or doesn't even touch once a week, plays giant blackjack with.
Yeah.
While he's operating on me? No, thank you.
Yeah. Heart surgery.
Then they don't even kiss or shake hands because we learn that Ernest is terrified of germs.
He's a hypochondriac, which is interesting that he's with this woman who kind of gets around in a way.
Yeah, you know, if he wants to stay away from germs, he should stay far away from Tara.
And she's a flight attendant. She's, nothing. It's just part of the job. You're going to be exposed to a lot of people who've been to a lot of places.
And by the way, her name is Tara Be True.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's revealed, actually, but... That's her name, but I'm just going to call her Super.
Super.
So then we get a voiceover in an airplane of Super telling us her whole story about how she must protect her identity.
Because she's such a valuable asset to society.
This because she goes, I must protect my identity or even the autopilot would hit on her.
I just immediately flashed to airplane. This giant inflatable thing like smacking her ass.
But the best part is her only disguise is a wig.
Yeah.
Like anybody would know it's her. If they saw this blonde woman, they'd go like, oh, Tara, you don't have your wig on today in your uniform? She pretends like, I guess in this world, flight attendants only wear their uniforms everywhere, except for Tara. She's
when they're not,
it's like a permanent job. Like
when their uniforms aren't on their body, it's on the floor in front of a bed of some gentleman of wherever they are lodging, and that's the idea in this movie. Just so you know, so that's where the identity crisis comes into play in the minds of Crown International Airlines.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We haven't even gotten into that. So Chris has spoiled a surprise.
Well, we can.
The airline that she flies for is called Crown International Airlines, and the Crown International put their logo everywhere. They could not have been more proud of this movie, which really is interesting.
It's a classy plane too. It's multiple
we'll get
levels.
Into the plane.
Okay, let me not jump the gun here.
Pages and pages of notes on this plane.
All right.
So we cut to this guy having sex is the next thing, okay? And we're made to think it's Super because we hear the sounds of sex and then we see her picture. Everybody, by the way, has her picture, the same picture. She must have given it all to them as a gift at some point.
Yeah.
So we pan across clothes everywhere, Tara's picture, and then this guy, Johnny, having sex with some lady.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I noticed was, well, it's definitely not Super.
Right.
So the first time we're ever introduced to Johnny, he's fucking some other lady. And she's old.
Older, yes.
Yeah.
She's wearing
jewelry.
That's
the first thing I noticed was, okay, and I'll wrote a part of it. They do say later on that he screws old women. Mm-hmm. But I was like, this lady looks very advanced in her age compared to him.
And she acts like it too. Like she's a total cougar.
Oh, and if you want to see the most uncomfortable post-coital scene, it's this one. Because
turn around.
When he's like done with her, they sit up in bed and he's like, oh, I gotta go pick up a friend of mine. Like, he came just in time to get in the car to go pick her up from the airport, pick Super up. And they're like not looking at each other when they're getting dressed. Every time he like looks over at her, he keeps trying to catch a peek of her giant boobs, and he's like looking over and she's like, don't look. And then she says, will I ever see you again? And I'm like, God, I wish they would have cut at this point. And he responds, sure, you're beautiful, baby. And you know right there, they're never going to see each other again.
No.
But they might, because we'll find something out about Johnny in a little bit that's not really expanded on too much in this movie, but a very interesting side note. So then we get the theme music outside the airport for a long time. We just sit on Johnny parked outside the airport, and it plays like a good 3 minutes of the theme song. And then Superchick changes, and Johnny's there to pick her up. And this is Miami. And how do we know that?
Oh, the big giant sign on the airport.
It's written on the wall. So then we get, the camera work in this movie. We have, and I'm not even exaggerating, a 2-minute long shot from a helicopter of Johnny's car driving down the Florida Keys, which I would imagine is nowhere close to the Miami airport, but whatever. He's driving down this, which I think is the Florida Keys. It looked like it.
Yeah.
He's driving down this road, and the helicopter shot, and it is so goddamn bouncy. It is almost unwatchable. This shot is...
It's like they put the camera on the rudder.
Yeah, it is that bad. It really is. It's like the camera was on the end of a diving board and somebody was just jumping up and down on it. And I feel like in any other production they would have said, "Oh, that's unusable." But Crown was like, we paid a lot of money for that helicopter, so you better put that fucking shot in the movie. So then we pull up to the docks where apparently we find out Johnny lives on a boat.
Yes, he's a true bachelor.
And there are men waiting there for him. And I like this, is that we get the first introduction of the boss and his henchman. And his henchman in this scene is dressed all in red. Like red sweater, red pants. He looks almost like a Christmas elf.
God, but he doesn't talk like one.
No.
Hey, boss, yeah.
There's another one of the movies with like the almost 20s accent.
Yes, wise man, I'm wise guy.
And I'm just going to bring this up. So if you're listening right now, you're probably guessing, another mob boss. I wonder what the possible storyline could be with this. Yeah. Is it once again, like in every single movie from the 70s, a story about somebody who owes a mob boss money? If that was your guess, you're right. Because Johnny owes this guy money. Do we ever find out his name? Not to my knowledge.
Nope.
Do we ever know what he does? Hell no. Somehow he's some boss guy. And I just call him boss in my notes because that's what his henchman calls him.
I put big man on mine. So.
Big man.
Big man.
And apparently he just gives Johnny money to go bet at the dog races. Yeah. Which he's not having a good streak.
What a terrible relationship that is.
Oh, how did he meet this guy? Hey, man, can I get some money? Can I borrow some money from you? I got that real hot tip over at this Greyhound there at the race. Sure, as long as you pay me back, kid. What do you do for a living? Fuck old broads? Okay.
I got a good feeling about 3 legs to victory. He's got a good streak this year.
So Johnny tells Super to go off to the boat, and she like skimpers on down the what have you, the boardwalk. The dog. She always is just running around going like, yeah. Like,
she's almost like she's got kind of a genie thing from cheerleaders going on.
She's a real live wire though.
She is though.
I'd say at least she's a little more intelligent.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Superchick holds her own. She does. She's a smart lady compared to anybody else.
Yeah, she's resourceful.
I would say in all the movies we've watched, she is the smartest character of all of them.
And that's not saying a whole hell of a lot, but she does know how to get out of a pinch.
She beats out Brenda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He talks to these guys. He talks to the boss guy, and they're like, "Hey, who's that beautiful chick?" And he's just like, blah blah blah. We find out he owes them money, and then they immediately say something like, "Oh, hey, how about we use that girl he is to go smuggle some money somewhere?" And we never.
It's such a tacked on plot device because it to me it doesn't appear till much later, and it still doesn't make sense. But again, we need something to wrap up the last 20 minutes. But again.
Yeah, because pretty much this is an hour of a woman going on constant vacation and showing how... I actually think this is just an advertisement for being a flight attendant.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah, I was like, wow, JetBlue, sign me up.
This is like, hey, ladies, you want the job of your dreams? You want to fuck a different man in every city? Come be a flight attendant.
Exotic adventure.
So Johnny says he doesn't want to. The boss, okay, this is great. The boss orders the guy in red to, quote, lean on him. Lean on the stud is what he calls him. And so he just kicks Johnny in the shin.
Yeah, that was great. It was like, must have been a hard ass kick. Because he's like,
oh, he's hurt. And I swear it plays like some sort of weirdo bonkers music. It's like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Who the hell do you think you are, you beach bum? Lean on the stud, Pete.
Son of a bitch!
So I wrote, he comes into the boat next, and boy does he. So, oh yes, this part. I have a lot to say about this next part.
Yeah.
So, Super's waiting for him on his boat bed under... Chris, explain the scene to me. Like, this is so bizarre.
Okay. She looks like she got caught in like off the coast of a fisher boat, and like some guys went crabbing and they caught her, and she's got entangled in their giant net, and now she's wearing this net.
Yeah, she's wearing a net with like weights on it.
Yeah,
and
like
the weights are perfectly placed over her
they're like
boobs.
foam buoys, I think, is what they are.
Oh,
so it floats. So it's not weighing down her, but they are strategically placed on her.
Oh, because I was like, man, that looks heavy.
Oh no.
Okay,
it's just not attractive. It's like, oh, look at me. It's one of those. It tries to look very submissive, and it just looks very stupid.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
She is wearing a fucking fishnet as like a come on, naked. She's wearing some dirty fishnet that this man, I swear, I hope he doesn't use that how it's intended to catch fish.
You know he does. You know he does because he lives on a boat.
Okay, I think he does because she says the line, he walks in and he kind of like looks at her and she goes, see what a good fisherman can catch? And then says something else. But he gives her this look. It cuts to him where he almost seems a little pissed about it. Like, he kind of has this look like,
you're in the union. You can't use that.
Yeah. I worked hard for that card. So then there's a sex scene involving the net, which I thought was very disturbing.
Yeah, because he doesn't really make an effort to get it off as he does to try to keep it on her.
Yeah, fit it in somehow. And they play her theme music, by the way, during the sex scene.
And we're going to play that right here. It's beautiful.
So, okay, then they go to the beach. And I love this part. I don't know if you noticed the same thing about it. But it shows them running out of this like jungle type thing onto a beach. And I swear to God, he goes one way, and then I swear that the actress just got confused, and she runs right up to the camera and like stops and kind of looks around a little bit, and then just runs over to him.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, like, that couldn't have been intentional, right? That like the director's like, okay, now Tara. Well, Joyce. Okay, George, now you run up to the camera, kind of look around, and then go back to Johnny, because it makes no sense.
No, you got me there. Because, again, they don't have the foresight to make it like, oh, she's just exploring the exotic surroundings of Florida. No,
when I saw it, I thought I was afraid that she was going to hit the camera. Like, I was like, whoa, slow down. So she does. She runs up to the camera. She gets confused and then finds Johnny all of a sudden and runs back to him. Then it shows them water skiing. and then they go running, and then they play tennis. And Chris, do you notice anything about these activities?
Well, it feels like one big commercial for Florida and vacation, but this guy is getting worn out. He's getting worn down.
And she beats him at everything.
Yeah.
She beats him at the water skiing.
Yeah.
She beats him in running.
Yeah.
I swear to God, at one point she pushes him while they're running. Like he's trying to catch up, and she like almost trips him.
Yeah.
She beats him at tennis. Mm-hmm. And you're right. Yeah. By the end of the day, he is exhausted.
This is, I think, their version of trying to shoehorn in the empowerment.
So yeah, they cut to them in a bar. They're the only ones there. The bartender looks pissed.
And the clock says it's like 10 minutes till 2.
And he says, by the way, he goes, "We're closing in 15 minutes. It's like, calm down, buddy. You're not fucking closed yet, okay? There's only last 2 people in here. But the best part is he goes, "We're closing in 15 minutes. And Johnny goes, because he's so exhausted, he sits down and he goes, "Could it be sooner?" And Super is just dancing around, having the time of her life.
She's got to be on something. You know she is.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's the 70s.
Yo, yeah, for sure. Coke. Massive amounts of cocaine.
Yeah. The way she gets around and her connections.
It is Miami.
Oh, yeah.
So they go back to the boat. She just runs into the boat and dives on the bed and says, one of my favorite lines of the movie, "Last one in bed gets no head."
Yep. Empowering.
And he looks at her and he goes, "You're too much of a super chick for me."
Yo, you said the line in the movie. Look at that.
And she literally makes him have sex. Mm-hmm. And this is also one of my favorite lines. This is 2 of my favorite lines of the same. She pretty much forces him to fuck her.
Yeah.
And she says, or no, he says, he goes, "When does a dream become a nightmare?" It's like, he seems to be having second thoughts about this. So we go to the airport the next day. He also asks Super to marry him.
Yeah.
She says no.
Oh.
She says she is not one for monogamy. These men do not like it when they get turned down.
No.
Also, by the way, none actually have a ring. They're just all like, we need to get married.
Yeah. They want this tied down.
So, okay, now this part gets really fucking confusing. Is she goes into the airport and they're like, "Bye, bye, bye." Johnny has parked his car in the front of the airport, which I guess in the 70s you can just fucking leave it there. Yeah. Also, there's nobody else at the airport. Yeah. Like, he's the only one there, and it's not nighttime. It's not even morning. It is straight up afternoon.
In like a vacation area.
Yeah, in Miami.
Yeah.
And he's apparently the only one at the airport. Mm-hmm. But he watches her like go inside. And then he gets out of the car, grabs a briefcase, and goes inside the airport and just leaves his car parked like 4 feet away from the curb. Like, not even parked well, by the way.
No.
Definite tow.
Yeah.
So he goes into the airport, and this is where it gets so confusing. Because for no reason at all, he goes into the bathroom and also gets in a disguise.
Yeah, that kind of makes these Elvis sunglasses and turtleneck.
And we think, maybe this is going to come into play somewhere. Yeah. Guess what? It doesn't. He will never dress in this disguise again. It makes no fucking sense, because you'll see where this scene goes. No point.
Nope.
So she also gets in her disguise, and then we have a scene of like her going in the women's room, him going in the men's room. He comes out, starts talking to the boss, and she walks out past them but doesn't notice. And let me tell you, his disguise is almost as bad as hers.
Turtleneck, sunglasses, and that's about it.
It's still him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a wig.
No.
I'm starting to regret saying that these characters are smarter, because if they can't tell that these are the original people, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. Well, and then some guy, the boss, does he recognize him when he comes into the scene?
Well, yeah, because the boss is like waiting there for him.
So the boss could recognize him, but Tara Be True cannot.
Yeah.
Weird.
And the boss comes up to him, and the scene is so weird. Is he just says something like, "Johnny, you know you're never going to pay me back if you keep laying those old broads." So we find out, I guess, Johnny is some sort of gigolo for old women.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why he was having sex with that old lady.
Yeah. Take him. Yeah. Right. There's a need to be filled, and he's the man to fill it.
Yeah. So by the way, Johnny gets around, and he gets paid for it.
Yeah.
This will come into play later. So then we don't really find out anything else in that scene. Johnny's dressed up in a disguise. This boss is in the airport, and nothing fucking happens.
There's no points. So does he? Okay, like, so we can eliminate all ideas. Like, is he being tracked by the FBI?
Nope, nothing.
Nope,
Nothing.
Is he just on the lam? Nope.
Does he need this disguise? No.
And I guess it was prearranged to meet the boss here.
Yeah, and also, why does he have the briefcase? Never opens it, never uses it. I guess maybe the disguise was in there.
I think
but
so.
What the fuck is this about? So then we immediately cut to the airplane. Will we ever see Johnny and the boss in that airport again? No, forget about it. Put this out of your mind, because it will never, ever, ever make a reappearance or have anything to do with the movie at all. So we go to the airport, the airplane. She's serving drinks. She says some weird VO, some voiceover thing. I don't even know what the fuck it is. But the gang boss is magically on the airplane.
Yeah.
Which we didn't hear he was going on the airplane or anything, but he's following her now. So then he says, oh, I love this part. You know what I'm going to say, too. Okay, Chris. She walks up to him and asks if he want a drink. What does he say?
No, I'm giving you the honors for this one.
Okay,
I've blown every line so far.
He goes, yes, I'll have an orange juice if it's from Florida.
It's like, they're so proud of the locale. They knocked down it.
Only was from Florida. Get that California shit out of here, right? I'm from Miami, baby.
We want the honey snow in Florida. Making some remark about oranges or something.
May I get you a drink, sir?
Yes, I'll have an orange juice if it's from Florida.
Okay.
I feel like they put lines like this in there, and they like maybe put that Crown International Airlines as like a placeholder, because I feel like they were making this movie hoping for sponsors or something like that, and the sponsors just never came.
No one bites.
They were like, you know, we're gonna put in this line about Florida orange juice, and maybe we could get some money from them Florida people.
Yeah, we want you to look directly into the camera and say this line.
Yes, I'll have an orange juice if it's from Florida. So, okay. This, I think, is the best part of the movie coming up. Tara is a real patriot.
She'll lie down for her country.
She is a real patriot. Not like these fake women patriots.
Not like the ones that slap American flags on their SUVs and cut you off on the freeway.
No, not even close.
The ones that post Facebook statuses of like this soldier and like pray for this amputee.
No.
Wow.
Tara is the original
Really?
Tea Party.
The real deal.
Okay? A one-woman teabag machine. Trust me. So there's a Marine on this flight, Chris.
She's dipping her tea for the D.
There is a Marine on this flight. And you know what? He just got out of Guantanamo.
He did.
And she says, oh, it must have been horrible there with all those commies. And he says, well, ma'am, I didn't see anybody. In fact, it was just me and some dogs standing around for 2 years, and I didn't see a single person. So only him at Guantanamo, by the way. If you want to know who was guarding Guantanamo Bay in 1973, it was one man and a dog. That's it.
And this guy couldn't even button his dress blues up all the way.
Yeah, he's a horrible Marine, by the way. I've never seen a Marine in their dress blues with it just unbuttoned, like so sloppily. She goes, so you mean you haven't had sex in 2 years? And he's like, boy, howdy, ma'am, I haven't.
Haven't buried the server with Uncle Sam.
So she says some voiceover like, oh, I'm prepared to do anything for my country.
I never was a super patriot, but there comes a time when you have to lie down and be counted.
So she changes from her flight attendant outfit into Superchick. Oh, that's it. She looks into the camera, and this is the first time when the fourth wall is broken.
Yeah.
It'll happen continually, and it is amazing. This is definitely one of the highlights of this film, is the amount of fourth wall break-in.
The crack in this fourth wall, it's about the size of what's left of the Berlin Wall right now. Just so you know.
She looks into the camera, and she says, to us, the audience, it's the least I could do for my country. What? Okay. She tells him something like, all right, meet me upstairs in the bathroom, clear your throat, and I'll let you in.
Yeah.
So then the boss like tries to go get her, and he runs into him, and he says like, "Sorry, soldier," and he's like, "I'm a Marine," and he's got to keep harping that because everybody calls him a fucking soldier, and he's got to say he's a Marine.
These people just aren't real patriots.
They are not real patriots.
No,
except for Super.
No, I mean, this is a Vietnam era flick. People should know better.
Super knows.
Super's down for the cause.
Super knows. She's the one who said George Bush would be a great running mate. All right, she knows.
She did.
You know as good as that Bush guy. Yeah. You know how I know? Astrology. It told me. You know there's going to be a gag where this Marine goes, okay, by the way, now we can finally talk about this airplane. This is the biggest goddamn airplane, I think, ever. Mm-hmm. This airplane is so big that there are not only 2 stories with a bar on the second story, but all the seats are like super plush recliners. And there's just maybe, I don't know, 12 people in this airplane.
This is the height of decadence in airline.
Oh, yeah. Shag carpeting on the ground, fully carpeted seats. I mean, this is the lap of luxury right here. And that, like, they have a full bar in the front of this section. And, like, the drink cart's like a full bar on it and everything. So he goes upstairs to meet her in the bathroom, which upstairs has its own like lounge and bar, and people are like staring at him while he's trying to get into the bathroom.
It's like, don't mind me taking an American shit.
And there's this one extra who's amazing. Yeah. That guy with the pompadour and a cigarette. And he just gives him the best looks. The guy does not have a line, but he's amazing. Yeah. He coughs in front of one of the bathrooms, and he opens the door. And what happens, Chris?
An old lady screaming like, "You perfect!" just like goes off on him and causes a scene, and we get the so funny.
Wrong door.
Yeah. Well,
and this extra, by the way, this extra is just staring him down like, what the hell is this guy doing? Yeah. So then he gets in the right door. Yeah. And it's Superchick. And they fuck in the bathroom.
Yeah, the flag is now at full mast.
Yeah, he has joined the Mile High Club, and it's a really, really, really long scene of them doing it in this. She gives some, oh God, when he goes, "Why are you doing this, ma'am?" And she says something like,
"Because you've been a good soldier boy. Because you love your mother, apple pie, and your flag, soldier."
I'm a Marine, man. I'm a Marine.
Of course you are.
So the gang boss is like searching around the airplane for Superchick. Yeah. He like goes up to the bar. He's like, "Where is she? I can't find her." He is also very confused by this disguise because he doesn't realize that it's the same lady as the flight attendant at this point. So the Marine walks out of the bathroom. By the way, they walk out of the wrong door.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They walk out of the door that the old lady was in. So this is, you noticed that, by the way. Some
kind of magic bathroom. It's like Narnia, but on an airplane, it's a shithouse Narnia.
It's definitely the wrong door.
Yeah.
But I like when he walks out of the bathroom and the guy in the pompadour sees him again, and they just wave to each other, and then Superchick walks out and she like gives a shrug like, eh.
Well, the Marine doesn't even bother to put his clothes all the way back on. He's like still like buckling himself up.
Yeah, his hair's all fucked up. He's still like putting. Oh well, yeah. You know what? Yeah, he doesn't even put his clothes on really. And by the way, this bathroom is huge for an airplane bathroom.
Yeah,
it's like a whole goddamn room.
I'm ashamed they didn't pan out to show the bathtub. This bathroom.
That would have been amazing. Because there's like a full shower tub.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, he walks out and he's like still tucking in his shirt and buckling his pants and his hair's all fucked up. And then Tara walks out and like her front's still unzipped. Yeah. she zips it up right there. So then she changes back into her disguise. And the gang boss, he's looking around for her and he says something to her as the flight attendant. He's like, "Excuse me, miss, where's my hot milk? I ordered it from some blonde stewardess and she never came around." And then he sees her name tag, and it says Tara Be True.
Ooh.
And he goes,
"The jig is up."
She's like, "Oh, do you want me to do something?" And he's like, "That's all right, ma'am. That's all right."
And we learn, does it get the milk? No.
So she gets to L.A. The gang guy gets on a phone. The boss gets on a phone and says something to somebody. Who the fuck knows who he's talking to? And he's like, I followed this chick. She's up to something, I'll tell you. It's like, up to what?
Who fucking cares? Like,
what are you doing, dude? Like, what is this all about?
I didn't get my milk. Heads are gonna roll.
Then we see the musician, Davy
Cassidy.
Picks her up. Is that really his name?
No. It should have been.
So he picks her up in a car, and he says something about how he's worried, how he's getting old, and other people are gonna take his job.
Yeah, the bags are just sagging under his eyes. This is a kid.
Yeah, and she goes like, "Davey, what are you worried about? You're only 21."
Yeah,
but he's a real neurotic type of guy.
Yeah.
But then you think they'd hang out? No, she goes, I got a karate class, so we got to shoehorn this scene in somehow.
Or we are in for a treat.
So Tara is real good at karate.
Yeah.
And I mean real good. Because immediately cut to her kicking the teacher's ass.
Mm-hmm. Which makes you think she should be teaching this class at this point and talking in a very bad Asian accent, because it would have fit in perfectly in the scene.
Oh, if you want bad Asian accents that are real stereotypical, it's coming. Because then all of a sudden he goes, all right, class, gather around. Here's this guy, this karate champion from Japan. And he just talks in Japanese. And he's like, oh, yo, 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 yo. And they're just laughing and laughing. And he's like, the teacher's laughing about it. They're both having a good laugh. And he's like, oh, he thinks you're all in good shape. And I'm like, well, we don't understand what he's saying. We don't get the joke.
Yeah.
So then, for some reason, he wants to fight Super.
Oh, we wonder why.
Because he's going to take this lady.
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, when he goes to fight, he just fights like a bear. Like, he just immediately, like, spreads his legs, opens his arm, and goes, and, like, goes at her with claws out. And I'm like, look, I don't know much about karate, but I know that's not karate.
Well, I think he's trying to emulate, like, the typical attacker. I think he's trying to give her an edge just to give her a chance, so she doesn't feel terrible.
Because then when he starts getting pissed, he still does the same thing, but even more bearish. His only move is like bear hug and claw.
He went from polar to grizzly to.
I know enough about the karate to know that this cannot be a move. Like, this cannot be real. So she totally kicks his ass, and this is the absolute best line in the whole movie. She beats him up and throws him to the ground, and she goes over and she picks his head off the ground. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, did I hurt you? And he looks into the camera, into the lens, breaks the fourth wall, and says,
well, first, he looks down her shirt.
Oh, God.
He looks directly down her gi. I'm sorry. She's wearing a gi.
I wonder if that was intentional or not. I wonder if that was like, a character choice or an actor choice.
She's got him pinned on the ground in a very submissive pose on top of him, straddling him. And she kind of lifts his head up and so looks into her, down her gi, and is like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah, he looks into the camera, like in the lens at that part, and goes,
holy shit.
And I swear I thought I heard a slide whistle at that point, because there should have been. There should have been if there wasn't.
So then we go back to Davy's house. But Davy's still not there.
No.
There's some other guy that comes and like picks her up. Will we ever see this man again?
Oh, no.
No. But we're going to spend the next 10 minutes with him.
And the conversation they have is near inaudible.
Oh, yes. The audio at this part is so bad. Like, I had to turn it up. I still couldn't understand. He's something like, you seem like a cool girl to me.
Yeah.
And so then they just leave. We don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's like they thought if we zoom in on their mouths, the sound will get louder.
Yeah, there's a lot of zooms. And by the way, no cuts. There's not one. I'm going to say, in this movie, there are no cuts. Like, when a scene happens and there's only two people in it, they don't cut. They'll move the camera. They'll zoom it in. The sloppy tripod work is on full display.
Well, the tripod is nothing more than a door jam
at
this point.
Yeah. They never cut from the wide shot. No. There's like barely any close-ups in this movie.
I think, well, which one would think there's only one camera at any time?
Oh, there's definitely only one camera, but even with a one camera shoot, you still get multiple
angles.
Medium.
You have a master shot.
Yeah. close-ups.
Yeah.
No, in Superchick, there's about 4 close-ups total.
Yeah.
This is great because they leave the house in their inaudible conversation, and they immediately cut to a naked woman getting whipped in a dungeon. And then someone just yells "cut" all of a sudden. And she runs up to the guy whipping her and like starts fighting him. We find out, by the way, that this lady's name is Mayday.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend the next couple minutes with Mayday. And this gentleman who I don't even know his name, who was hanging out with Superchick. Okay, so for some reason, this gentleman knows Mayday, the actress in the porno.
Yeah.
And they just show up on set for no reason right after she's done getting whipped, and they're like, "You coming to the party?" So apparently she's just walking right off set. They're done for the day. Mayday, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
But the director walks up, and this part's great. Is he walks up and he sees Super, and he's like, "Oh boy, you're perfect. Did you ever thought being in pornos?"
Yeah.
And
like just very well, the way he expresses this is just very like, yeah, you gotta be in films, right?
He's like the worst type of porn director guy you can imagine. Hey, ever thought of being in pornos or pornography? I make pornography.
I was expecting him to cough and like smoke would come out.
And her response is just like, oh, porno, oh man, seems so risky, seems so risque.
Just having sex in front of all these people with all the lights. I'm just,
boy,
I don't know. Oh, I've never done something like that before.
But she's open to it.
Yeah.
And he gives her card and he goes, I love this part. He goes, I got a movie for you. It's going to be perfect. It's called Boobs Away. And Mayday gets real pissed. She goes, I was up for that part. So apparently, Super running into town, taking everybody's job.
Wherever she goes, burning bridges and crotches.
So then we cut to what is later described as a pot party.
Pot party, yeah.
Because in the 70s, apparently pot was very illegal in Los Angeles. So people are just dancing around, but I love the part where it cuts to this party and people are dancing and some woman's just dancing topless.
Yeah, the only person, no, she's completely naked. There are no bottoms to this woman's ensemble. She is naked.
Like we see people dancing, and then immediately cut to like naked breasts dancing.
So I feel like she was the first one to get naked and she realized no one else is. And she's like, well, I put my clothes back on. It's going to be embarrassing. I might as well just go with it. Or it's going to be... I'm going to be the prude of the patty.
So we cut to Super and her friends smoking weed. And for some reason, the boss is there.
Yeah.
The boss guy. Do we know how he got there? No.
Who gave him directions?
Apparently, he's been following her all day.
Yeah.
But we never see him other than this scene. So then we find out that Mayday is a lesbian. And she says something like, she hates men.
Yeah.
Hates them. And Super goes like, oh, I could never hate men. I just like them inside me, you know? So Super and the guy decide to like kind of bow out of this party while Mayday goes and gets herself this girl she has her eye on that's hanging out with the boss.
Yeah.
Will we ever see Mayday again? No. Nope. Thank you for introducing us to this character we will care nothing about. We cut to outside and the cops just show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I love this part where the cop, one of the cops, the younger cop, because there's a younger cop and an older cop. And the younger cop gets out of the car and he's like standing by the stairwell. And the older cop goes, it's all the way up there? God. Those LA cops.
They have like a real Laurel and Hardy dynamic between the two of them.
Oh, you mean we gotta walk to this one?
It would have been better if they just cut to the patrol car like driving up the stairs, like knocking shit over.
That would have been amazing if he's like, well, I'm not walking. Yeah. And you know what? We will find out it's quite a bit of stairs because we'll keep coming back to this.
Yeah.
I feel bad for anybody that lives there because carrying groceries up this walk would be a bitch.
Yeah.
So Super and the guy go into this closet and they smoke more weed. So they're sharing a joint at this point. Then we cut back to the police and the old guy just keeps saying things over and over. He's like, I don't know why we called out here to break up this party. It's just some guy complaining about it. I'd rather be at the party. I don't really want to break. It's all one sentence, by the way. He's just running on. So then the boss walks out. The boss man, big man, walks out with his piece and Mayday. And this part's so good. As the cop goes, hey, you know where the this place is? And he goes, oh yeah, officer. First you're gonna go up these stairs, then you're gonna turn left, then you're gonna go here, he gives him 3 minutes of directions.
Yeah.
But you know what I have to say to this? You want to know where that fucking party is? Why don't you follow the sound?
I know. Follow the smell of the pot and the people walking out half clothed and just looking out of their minds. Boom. Thank you.
Well, and also while he's giving directions, we can hear the music from the party. It's like it's clearly up the stairs, guy. Yeah. Just follow where the music's coming from. Follow where the noise complaint's coming from. So
they didn't get an address.
So then we cut back to Super and the guy, and they're smoking more weed. Now they have 2 joints in the closet, and they just go off on some really inaudible, like pot,
far out, just inner metaphysical conversation.
And he says something like, oh man, I'm locked in a closet with this beautiful chick and all this stuff. He never makes a move on her, but I think maybe it's because he's loyal to his friend.
That's what it is.
So then the police come in. Oh, I love this part. This guy just opens the door and the cops just walk in and goes, buddy. And he takes the cigarette out of this guy's mouth. He goes, is this weed? And then he takes a hit off it. And he goes, yeah, that's weed. And then hands it to the young cop.
He takes a hit too. This got to confirm. Send this off to the lab. By lab, I mean my mouth.
Yeah, and then he goes, everybody get against the wall. And he's still taking hits off the joint at this point. They're just sharing it.
And Tara be true, she is resourceful at this point.
Yeah, she comes out of the bathroom in her flight attendant disguise and gives a horrible, oh my God, officer, I just came down here to use the bathroom.
My plumbing's out. Da, da, da.
And she goes on for way too long. And he's like, all right, lady, just leave. And she's still going. He's like, all right, lady, just leave.
My dad was so disappointed to be found out and just lays it on really thick. And the cop goes for it because flight attendant, she's got to be, she's just get home from work. She's got to pee. I'll give her a break. So
yeah. And then we get my second favorite extras in this movie, which are the people that won't stop making out no matter what. Yeah. Where the cop's like, all right, line up against the wall. And they're just still making out.
Excuse me. And puts his hand on the ass. Yep, over here, please.
I gotta say, the cops were a lot nicer back then.
Yeah, they were courteous. They really were courteous.
Yeah, because he walks in, he's like, oh God, it's a pot party. I'm sorry, everybody. Gotta do my job here, but let me get a hit of that before I arrest all of you.
If cops were more like that, I would be down.
So then Super makes it out and looks at her friend. Will we ever see him again?
No.
Oh, okay. So then you think, that was probably the plateau in the next 5 minutes. Nope, we're going to get an even better scene. Super walking through the park at night, and there's just a random collection of
bikers, actually.
Yeah, real greasy bikers.
And what are these guys? Balls. Yeah, and they're just convening there for no reason.
They have all their, this is like a child's park, like a playground. And these guys have their motorcycles just parked, smoking a joint, like in this park. Oh no, oh my God, I missed the fucking best part before this. Scratch all of what I said. Super walks through the children's park, and all of a sudden a guy in a trench coat comes out. Did you forget about this part?
Yeah, but now I completely remember.
A guy with a trench coat comes out, and he opens his trench coat to her and flashes her, and he goes, what do you think of what I got? And she looks at his dick and says, oh, you poor thing. Not very much, is it?
Yeah.
And he gets all pissed about it. And he's like, I wanted a reaction, not a review. You're sick, lady. You're sick.
This is like the worst park ever to walk through.
No, I know, because it's going to get worse. But I love when she walks away. The last line he says is he calls her a pervert.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he mean to say pervert, or just is pervert a new word?
He meant to say pervert, prevets.
Sick. That's what you are. Pervert.
I think they were like, cut. Did he say pervert? Close enough. Let's roll.
Keep it. We only got one camera.
I swear to God, I feel like this was just something they threw in last minute, and I swear that was the director.
Yeah, and it works. I laughed when you said that.
That part was so amazing.
This park is like the 7 layers, is like 9 layers of hell.
Yeah, because it's about to get way worse.
Yeah.
because, well, she was still in her flight attendant outfit when that happened.
Yeah.
So she's Tara at this point with the flasher. But then she goes into a bush and gets changed into Superchick because God help her if she walks around looking like a flight attendant in public.
Show me a real target then.
Yeah.
God forbid if a group of bikers came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. God forbid she gets caught wearing her conservative clothing and not her slutty outfit she's about to change into. So she changes into her Superchick outfit or uniform. And these bikers, the bikers smoking pot, they go after her and then start circling her with their bikes. And then they keep saying these one-liners, and finally, and these guys look like real dummies. And then finally, one of the guys goes, "Why don't we knock off the motorcycle movie talking gangbanger?" I'm like, well,
straight to business.
Getting right to it.
Yeah, you must be the whip of the group.
She kicks all their asses inside a bush, by the way, which is really weird.
On screen, it's just inferred with rustling of the branches,
and she'll fight other people on screen.
Yeah,
but for some reason, this is all off screen.
It's a lot of like, oh God, and her making karate chop sounds.
And by the way, it's Superchick, so they never cut. So then she comes out of the bushes, takes one of the bikes. And the three guys walk out of the bushes, and one of them goes, "That's some super mama."
Yeah. There's some wonder broad there, some kind of super chick, some super broad.
So then we cut to Davey in the studio. And I have to say something about Davey in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if you notice this as well. Apparently this man only knows how to play one note at a time on the piano.
Yeah.
He just sits there and goes, duh, duh, duh. And he's like, I can't figure out a new song. It's like, well, Davey, let's try a chord. Let's try a melody. Let's try something with a rhythm.
I don't have my producer here to write the music for me. I'm on my own today.
So he keeps hitting like single piano keys. And
it's just not coming to me.
And he's hitting it like a child would hit it, where he's hitting like maybe two at a time, like slightly hitting another key while he hits the key. It's like, and he has a picture of Superchick on his piano fallboard, like, or his music rack, like staring right at it, you know? And he's like, I just need a new sound. I need a new sound. So this part, they go to some concert in a bar.
Okay, it's called like the filthy.
Is this guy who sings famous or something? Because this is insane what's about to happen. They go to... Okay, we cut to a bar. Let me describe the scene to you. We cut to a bar. We see a man singing on stage going, hey, yeah,
it's okay. He's like Sammy Johns if Sammy Johns got hit in the head with a lead pipe repeatedly.
Honestly, I thought this man was having a stroke on stage. It is so bad. It is like, imagine if somebody was trying to impersonate Joe Cocker, but like had no talent whatsoever. And then... So I said the scene, this man singing. Then we cut to a bunch of crotch shots.
Yeah.
People dancing. Lots and lots of crotch shots. The first one of a woman. The second one, I'm not so sure if it's a woman or a man. There's quite a bit of bulge. And we don't ever see their faces. All we see is crotch, boobs, and leg. And we just keep panning up and down and up and down. Then, okay. I see you have something written down here. Are you...
I'm just scrolling through everything.
Oh, you're trying to find out if this guy's famous?
Yeah.
Because this scene makes no sense. Is Davey and Super are sitting at the table, and then the singer just comes over to the table and inaudibly, you cannot understand a word this man says, comes over to the table, he's like, hey, how you doing today, man? And they're like, oh, yeah, hey, yeah, sounds good. And he's like, hey, you want me to get you a drink or something? And Davey's like, yeah, we'll take two. Yeah, perfect. So he's also apparently like the waiter.
I think he owns the place because his name is Filthy.
His name is Filthy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he sings Filthy. I swear to God, this must be some sort of like singer or something.
Yeah, because the name on the bar is like his name. It's like Filthy something.
So everybody shows up to this bar to hear a man go, hey, it sounds like somebody singing karaoke without the words. And no, he's totally tone deaf. It's like a deaf person went on the stage and started singing. It is that, it's like, it's horrible. horrible.
So you know who I'm thinking of from Savage Streets right now. And he's like kind of coming on to her almost like, so what does the lady do?
Well, you know what? I couldn't understand any of that. So.
I think she just smiled and nodded at that point. Thanks. Your breath smells like shit and you can't sing, but thank you.
You know Terry here, don't you?
Well, I know Terry. Who else are you ever with?
Yeah.
Hi, Filthy.
Hi, how are you?
So then Davey and Super just start making out at the table, and he goes, I got it. I got my new sound. It's love and la, 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 la,
You're my new sound. You're my new. You're my music. You're everything. And wow, that what a come on. What a come on.
So then they immediately run out of the bar and get in his car, and then we cut to her fucking her on a piano. Well, not on it, like in it. Because we keep hearing like strings rustling around and notes being played, and he's like, I think I got it.
It sounds terrific.
He keeps doing her in this piano. He goes, it sounds great. It sounds great. And he's all, she's like, oh, I think it's enough. He's like, no, I need something for a whole album. I'm like, if this is the whole album, we're in real trouble, Davey.
That's actually would come off with some really amazing performance art if he recorded that.
I think he did.
I would. You know what? I'd check it out. I really would.
Loving a piano. So then we cut to the airport.
Yeah.
I can't even believe we're only this far in the movie. Davey asks her to marry him.
Pseudo number 2.
She says no, and then she has this quote, which I love, but she says, I don't want to have to worry about screwing off key the rest of my life. She uses the word screwing.
Yeah.
And then he responds with, there are 100 girls who'd marry me. Yeah. And she's like, well, go marry them.
Yeah. She has a perfect comeback for everything. She's heard it all.
So then we get, like, now the movie is deciding, like, oh, shit, we've got on way too long. Just like this podcast, actually.
I think
need to start wrapping it up. So boom, boom,
just
boom.
Fine. Just fine.
We get in an airplane. We go back to New York City. She's hanging out with Ernest again, drinking wine in his apartment. They listen to classical music, and they both, like, orgasm on the couch to it without touching each other.
They're discussing, like, the rhythms of the music. Oh, staccato. Oh, legato.
And they're both just done after that.
Yeah.
Then, back in the airplane. And we get this great quote from Tara. Apparently, these are the only 3 cities she ever flies to, because she says, sometimes when I fly over cities like Philadelphia and Boston, I wonder what type of action is taking place.
Yeah. You might want to go and just find out. The Liberty Bell.
Yeah, you know, Tara, you probably get free flights on your day off. Maybe go check out one of those cities and fuck a guy there, you know? So then we come back to Miami. They're water skiing again. Then we zoom out and pan, because we never fucking cut in this movie. We zoom out and pan to the boss and this hench guy. And the hench guy goes, she is sure some kind of water skier, ain't she, boss? And he goes, from what I can see, she is some great kind of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, there are 10 minutes left in this movie. We have established no fucking plot.
Nothing at all.
So let's introduce a new character. A blonde buff guy with a mustache walks up.
Yeah.
And he goes like, oh, so you're still a hitman? Like, they're in public right now. The boss goes, my favorite hitman. How you doing? Pulling any more triggers? And he goes, oh, you know, I'm clean now. Just one last job to retire, which should be a key to what's going to happen. So they're planning some sort of caper where they're gonna this is the fucking stupidest goddamn excuse. They're like, some guy comes from Kansas or something, Arkansas or some city, from this casino with a bag of money, and he delivers it to Vegas. And sometimes he's got 1 body card, and sometimes 2, and sometimes 3, and he can have anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. So the plan is that we'll jack it and go retire in Mexico. And I'm like, I know this is 1973, but $500,000, even the maximum split between 3 guys, don't know if that's going to retire you.
Because the amount that they need to smuggle that's inconspicuous cannot be that big for the plot of this movie, for the logic. But again, no logic.
Just say $1 million.
Yeah.
In 1973, I believe $1 million would get you through your whole life.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Buy some Apple stock. you know.
I think the Lisa was about to come out of this point, yeah.
So then we cut to the beach. This is like where we're...
It starts
okay, guys,
to like...
we're at an hour. We need to add 10 minutes here.
Yeah.
She, for some reason, like lost her bikini in the water.
Yeah.
So then he goes out and almost fucks her in the middle of a public beach while they roll around in the water. And then she finds her bottom and starts slapping him with it while she's running around bottomless, which I hope not in front of children at this public beach in Miami. That's all that scene does.
Yeah, and he just rubs lotion on her, and isn't he tired again? He gets tired, and they're supposed to do more.
Oh, yeah, he's always tired, this guy.
Yeah. He's like, ugh,
I think he might want to go to a doctor. I think AIDS is starting.
He has HIV. Pretty sure.
You know, Doc, I'm tired all the time. I've been with this woman a lot, and she seems to have, she gets around a lot, you know? So, okay, then we cut to Hollywood, and she says it's, quote, the kinky capital of the world. Didn't know that. Lived here my whole life. Wouldn't consider it the kinky capital of the world, but okay. So she says something about how you can find anything you want if you just look in the right places. And find some newspaper off the street. This part, by the way.
Oh, man.
This is like in Malibu High when Kim has to kill the jewelry store guy.
Yeah.
It's like, we need 5 more minutes of movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And this actor, wow.
Oh, God.
This scene does not need to be here. This could have been like a special edition DVD scene. Okay, so she gets this newspaper, and I guess she's looking for work at this point.
No. This is a sex ad.
Yeah.
Work. She's looking for somebody to work her.
So
this is a sex classified ad.
And it's
just like in cheerleaders, you just place these in newspapers.
Yeah, and they show up, and sure enough, it's like an ad for apparently an actor. He's defines himself as handsome, cultured, articulate.
Yeah,
and she goes to these very steel gates and
ominous looking. House.
Yes, it's very almost Dracula-esque, if you will, which we'll find.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah, we'll find isn't very far off because the gates open, and this guy is just like very Martin Landau-ish, very Bela Lugosi in a way.
His name is Igor Smith.
Igor Smith, who we find out the actor is actually David Carradine.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. And who is the father of...
Holy shit. Are you serious?
Dead serious. Yes, John Carradine. That's his dad.
Wait, this is John Carradine. This is David Carradine's father.
Yeah.
Chris, I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing.
Because I saw this facial resemblance. I'm like, this is kind of familiar. And
Do
I
you
looked
think
it up.
when David Carradine went to go get roles, he's like, oh, you might know my father. He played the rapist in Superchick.
About the sex torture guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's that S&M guy.
Why do you think Tarantino liked him? I think that's how...
there you go.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, you're the actor? And he's like, yes. And she goes... well, the only thing unique about you would be that you'd be the oldest man I've ever made it with.
Yeah.
And he goes like, well, come on, get some tea, come in. And she decides to go in.
Oldest trick in the book.
Again, the 70s were a different time. A time I don't understand. A time I'd like to be in. When you can just walk in a stranger's house and see what's going down.
Real gray and chill.
You want to have sex? Just place a classified ad. And he says stuff too. He's like, you wouldn't believe the amount of people that answer my ad. I get calls all the time.
We'll see. He's ready for him.
So he invites her in for tea. This is the best part, is they immediately walk through the front door, and the first room of this man's house is a torture dungeon.
And the first thing he does is lock the door and put the key in his pocket. So there's no way out.
And like, this is a full-on torture dungeon with like chains on the wall and like... like some sort of sawhorse contraption.
This is like in the back of the house or in a basement. This is
that's what I say. It's the foyer.
Yeah. This is how you welcome your guests.
I was gonna say that. I wrote that down. I was like, this is the first room you have in your home.
Yeah, hang your coats.
The best part in this whole scene, though, is she's just like, oh, you sick freak. What would your mother think? And he goes, I don't know. Let's ask her. Mom? And then you just hear, he goes, Mom, we got another one. And she goes,
Igor!
So then he does like the bear attack, like the karate guy does.
Because apparently that's how they all attack in this movie.
So she kicks his ass, chains him to a wall, and he's like, "Oh, hit me again, hit me."
Okay,
David Carradine, by the way, your father, great job.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about the scene is when she kind of binds him up in these shackles, she doesn't even lock them. They just kind of close.
And he's just, I can't, you have to see the scene to understand. He's just rolling his head around going, "Oh my God, hit me again, hit me again." Shut up. So she says something about how she's calling the cops, blah, blah, blah. We'll never see this man again. We won't reference this scene again. 5 minutes, gone. 120-minute runtime. Thank you very much.
$20,000 wasted. The last production value in this scene.
The last 2 fucking scenes made no goddamn difference. Oh, well, there was a... Never mind. We don't even give a shit. So then they cut to Davy's concert hall where he's doing her on a drum.
Yeah,
like I guess a timpani drum because it just keeps playing. It's like with every with every stroke you just hear that.
It's not even a rhythmic stroke. It's
no.
Like he doesn't know what he's doing.
This guy tone deaf. No wonder he goes to that bar where that guy just sings. How you going, though? Have you ever heard that song before?
That to him is the best music in town.
I want to hear Davy's album so bad. So then they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta finish this movie." We cut to NYC. She's walking around with Ernest, just walking around town. We cut to Miami. Johnny.
No. It's like the world tour.
It's like, we need a few more minutes, guys. Put in some B-roll. We cut to Miami. She's walking around with Johnny. Blah, blah, blah.
A lot of shaky cam of plane bottoms landing and taking off.
Yeah. He gives her a package. Got to take it to LA. She goes like...
It's so rushed,
and then
too.
she goes, "I think I know why you want me to take that package for you." And he's like, "Uh-oh, jig's up." And then she goes...
"You don't want to pay for postage."
And I said Tara was smart.
How much do you think this would cost in postage? Nothing.
Yeah, seriously. Well, she says it's really heavy. Because he says like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of seashells for my mother."
Bunch of seashells, right?
So then we go to the airport. She has Johnny's package. The boss and the goons are walking. They see these guys walk up with a lot of money. There's 3 bodyguards today, so it's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Apparently the bodyguards don't go with him on the plane. They just like drop him off at the plane, and they're like, "All right."
They don't want to be conspicuous.
And then there's this great like the boss goes, "Look at this fancy machine they got to scan these weapons," and it's some sort of like 70s X-ray machine.
Yeah, that you have to look into.
Yeah. So then I love this part, is like they're discussing their plan 5 feet from the gate. Like they're literally standing 5 feet from the guys about to check them for security, and they're like, "All right, here's the plan. We get in the airplane, and then we take out the guns, and then we shoot that guy, and then we take his stuff. Got it?"
What is there on doing? A can of hairspray.
Yeah, so they go through the gate thing. One of the guys gets buzzed. They're like, "Oh, we need to search that bag. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's he has 2 things in his bag, by the way: a teddy bear and a can of hairspray." Why the fuck does this guy even have a bag?
To him, that's his cover. I think it's more suspicious not to have anything than to have something like a teddy bear and a hairspray can, you know?
Yeah, and the boss goes like, "Oh, I can't believe you brought a hairspray can. You almost ruined it." It's like, well, never. This makes no sense.
It's just tear up that piece of script and throw it away. We don't need that page of dialogue ever.
Boss, you think we should cut this? No, we need 2 more minutes in the movie. Leave it in. So then we cut to the airplane. Tara comes in and puts the box down in the back. The goon gets up from his chair and like looks real suspicious, like, "Oh boy, that's where the box is." All right. The boss man sits next to a child, because he also says like 5 feet from the security guards, "We gotta sit in different seats." And it's like, I guess this is like a Southwest flight where you just pick your own chair.
Right.
We're in loading group C, though. This plan's going to pieces already. God, should have got priority boarding.
I love this part, though, when he sits next to the kid, and he goes, "There's just this child, like some 5-year-old," and he just looks at him and he goes, "Why don't you go play on the wing?" And I was wondering, where's this kid's parents?
Yeah.
Did they just like send him on a plane? They go, okay, honey, go to LA, have fun. Then we go in the air. The goon grabs the guns from the back. The boss goes for the money bag. Super beats them all up. The boss grabs her wig off. She kicks his ass. It somehow ends up on him, and he's like, and falls over with it on him. So that wig's not on too well.
No.
And then she says something like, "Oh, talk about a coming out party."
Yeah.
And it's like, Tara, everybody knew it was you.
No one is shocked.
Everybody knew that you were actually blonde. That wig's not fooling a goddamn person. They've all seen you in your Superchick outfit.
Yeah.
They see you go into that phone booth and change. They're not stupid.
They see you duck and they see you pop back up with a different fucking color hair.
So this next part is amazing because we're going to introduce another character.
Yeah. With less than a minute left in the movie.
There are about 2 minutes total left of this movie. Let's introduce another character. This cuts to a TV reporter, and he is outside the airplane, and he's like, "Oh, this is a wonderful petite flight attendant stopped the robbery on this plane. Let's see if we can we get an interview with her." And she walks up and immediately accidentally flashes the camera, and we get like a close-up of her boobs flashing the camera. And everybody's just, they all want to take her picture and talk to her. She's like...
And she's mugging like crazy for this camera.
She loves it.
She loves it.
So then, oh my God, this is one of the best lines in the movie. The boss walks up in cuffs, and he walks by her, stands within earshot, about 1 foot from her. For some reason, the cops stop them.
Yeah.
In front of Tara while she sits on a luggage cart.
Yeah.
And he goes, "And to think someday she's gonna be somebody's mother."
And to think someday she's gonna be somebody's mother.
I don't really understand.
Out of all the things you could say to somebody that has foiled your plot, that is what you're gonna say? All right, sure.
And then the reporter accidentally knocks Tara off the baggage cart just so we can get this wonderful last scene.
Yeah.
Cut to, oh, by the way, it goes, after he cuts her off the cart, he looks into the camera and goes, "Whoops." And then we see a split screen of 3 different shots of all 3 of her boy toys going, "Tara!"
Yeah.
And then we cut to hospital room. Tara has broken her leg.
Oh my God.
The reporter comes in to apologize because now apparently this man is so important, he will be our narrator for the rest of the movie.
Right. To fill in the blanks that really don't need to be filled in.
The reporter comes in to apologize, and he's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Miss True. Didn't mean to knock you off that cart, but how about you give me an interview right here in your own hospital bed?" And she's like, "Sure." But then Ernest shows up. He finally touches her, and he starts making out with her. And then who shows up next, Chris?
Oh, I think it's not Bobby.
No, Johnny.
I know.
Johnny.
I was hoping it was Bobby, though.
So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So Johnny shows up. He sees her kissing this other guy, and he's like, "What the hell? What's this going on? What kind of doctor?" Because he goes, "Who is this?" She's like, he goes, "Oh, I'm Dr. So-and-so." And he's like, "What kind of doctor kissing a girl, you know?"
"Well, I'm playing doctor, if you know what I mean."
What kind of doctor-patient relationship is this?
Confidential, if you want to know.
Johnny, by the way, is so goddamn Miami, this guy.
Yeah.
You'll see if you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then cue David.
Oh, Davey. Davey comes in too, and he's like, he brings a guitar, and he goes, "Tara, this is my favorite guitar." And he smashes it over his knee.
It stomps on it, and then puts a rose in it, or like a flower of some sort.
He like grabs a rose from the bed and drops it into the guitar.
That I didn't get. Was that like his eulogy? Is he eulogizing his...
because then he goes, "I just wanted to show you you're more important than an instrument to me." It's like, okay.
Yeah.
They just can't understand that she has 3 guys.
Yeah.
And she gives some explanation. She's like, "I love all of you. And I've been faithful to all of you." Now, we got to talk 1 second here.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, Johnny. How dare he walk into this hospital room and be offended that she's making out with another guy?
Yeah.
This man fucks old women for a living.
Right. But to his knowledge, that's his job though. That's strictly professional.
Well, I'd argue that this is her job.
Job, but is it really her job though? She's just having fun.
She is the muse of all three of these men.
Yeah.
Because she's the muse for that surgeon, she's the muse for that musician, and Johnny is a fucking lowlife who fucks old women for money, and she gives him a break. So he's the one. He should not be upset about any of this.
Yeah.
And I feel like it always puts like Johnny's the one that she likes the best. Because we spend the most time with him.
And because she does just drain his energy when she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
She's really adamant of getting that quality time. So there you go.
But this guy's a lowlife. How dare he come in and say you can't have sex with two other guys?
That's kind of the opposite of the empowerment.
This man is patient zero for HIV.
Yeah. It's kind of like that thing. I can change him. I'm going to make him better. He has a project. That's what she's thinking in her head, probably.
Well, but she does say, she goes, you know what? I'm fine with you or I'm fine without you. And you guys can take it or leave it because I'm not picking one of you.
She wants all three.
So all three try to get in the bed. And this, goddamn, did I think Malibu High ended well.
Yeah.
The TV reporter breaks the fourth wall, looks into the camera, and says, and they say people in show business are strange.
And they say people in show business are strange.
And then it just cuts to a freeze frame of these guys climbing in the bed. And it goes da 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 da.
And then she has a one-liner though. It's like,
oh yeah, I have it written down. Did you? You know what he said?
Right. You said you give the honors on this one.
She goes, "Hold it, boys. Please take a number."
Yeah.
Freeze frame
of them climbing into bed. Never mind her broken leg as they all climb into the same time.
So this is when it gets even stranger, believe it or not. The movie's over. The credits roll over this scene. There is no crew credits for this movie. It is only the actors, and this is the shortest credits I've ever seen in a movie. It goes by in less than a minute. It just goes da 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 da, da and then it shows the cast, and then it cuts to black. Done.
I think the actors that weren't on screen at any time were operating the camera and the boom and everything. Okay, I'm impressed though. The boom was not seen in any shot.
That's right.
I'm impressed.
You know what? Maybe it should have, because I couldn't hear half the fucking movie.
That was the problem, is that it wasn't next to anyone's crotch or chin.
Yeah, don't put the boom in the shot. But the intern that day didn't realize you can't just put it 20 feet above everybody's head.
You just had it next to a power line, I think.
All right, Chris, so recommendation.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
100%.
This is one of my favorite movies ever. This movie is awesome.
Yeah.
It is so terribly made that it's just a true gem. Yeah. This is a true Crown International classic. I only wish there was a real Crown International Air. I wish Superchick was a real lady. This movie is awesome. I love it. And I'm so disappointed because this has one of the lowest ratings on IMDb.
It's like 3 point something.
What a joke. Because some of these movies we watched have, Chatterbox has almost a 6. And it's are you fucking kidding me?
And the boom is in half the shots. This movie
is a gem. It is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
It's rough around the edges, but god damn it, is it good.
Oh,
it's like an uncut diamond. It's still in the mine, but trust me. Go in there. Get the black lung, whatever you need to do. See this movie.
It felt like it was like a screener copy that wasn't yet the final cut.
Yeah.
It was, okay, it feels like one long daily. It's all it is. And the producers had yet to sign off on it, but they all died in a plane crash. And it's in their contract that they can't edit this film, so they just had to go.
The Kubrick thing.
It's like their eyes wide shut is this film.
Yeah, so in Eyes Wide Shut, because Chris and I were talking about this the other day. In Eyes Wide Shut, the final cut that you see is actually not a final cut because Stanley Kubrick died before the final cut of that movie was released. And the story goes is that they were at a screening and he told I believe it's Warner Brothers producer, that he'll have the final cut done in 2 weeks and it'll be about 30 minutes cut out.
Yeah.
Well, he died, and in his contract it said you cannot touch this movie without his permission. Well, he's dead. They don't have any permission, so they had to release what they had.
Yeah, they can only add to it.
That's the case for Superchick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, whoa.
Do you hear that sound?
I hear that. I hear first. Whoa. I know because I saw the Amber Alert go off my phone, so I know the straight arrow must be nearby.
I hear Sammy John.
I do too.
Oh my God, Bobby and DeVito have just rolled up in the straight arrow.
Boys. How you doing?
Hey. So, Chris, how would Bobby and DeVito fit into Superchick?
The album that Dave records.
Oh no! Oh no! Where this is going?
He needs extra help as like an ensemble. It's almost like a We Are the World kind of thing.
Is amazing. I know where you're going with this.
So, as we know, somehow,
how did that 8-track tape end up in that van, Chris?
The origin of this 8-track tape. That's just the origin of the 8-track tape. Is Davey recording him, the Superchick? This is the tape that is played in the Straight Arrow. The scene of the van.
So the answer is we have heard that tape that Davey made. Because it makes an appearance in the van and in Savage Streets. The sisterhood of the traveling 8-track. Its origin story, Superchick. Davey and Super fucking in a piano.
Yeah. And there you have it.
I didn't think you were gonna bust out the big guns for this one. Holy shit!
I'm here. That's me blowing the smoke out of the barrel.
Those boys are up to no good, always affecting every movie that we watch.
It's on the cutting room floor.
And thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
If you're tuning in and you're gonna watch the movie for next week, it's My Tutor, another Crown International classic, and it's a good one. Well, thanks again for joining us. You can find us on Facebook.com/Grindbin, as well as grindhousefilm.com. We're also on Instagram and Twitter.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.